That's all I've got. It's been an experience. But yeah, it's all good. I'm at my mum's now, so it's good to have some company.
How's training going? Is there much training going on, or are you just taking a break while all this plays itself out?
I mean, I am training on my own, like every day, but it's like it's not really like you can't. I just miss jujitsu, man. Like I miss it so much. Like I knew before it was a big part of my life. Like I knew it was a big part of my life, but I didn't realize how much of a part of my life it was until this. And I was like, but I just want to do jujitsu. Like I literally have no more requirements in my life right now. Like I just if I could do jujitsu and have my life the way it is right now, I'd be cool with that.
Yeah,
Like it's
well,
just jujitsu. That's the only part missing.
yeah,
So
I started jiu-jitsu last February. I'm a bit late to the game. I'm 24, so still have a lot of time to do
not late.
jiu-jitsu.
I started when I was 24, so don't worry.
Yeah, so I did it for about 6 months and then got into a car accident and tore my rotator cuff and strained my spine. So haven't I was out for a few months. They wouldn't let me go back, understandably. And then right as I got cleared, all this happened. So
Right.
haven't really had a chance to go back and do
That's
it.
so bad.
Yeah, it sucks, but I mean, there's nothing else you can do, right? Just gotta stay
No,
safe, stay inside.
I had the same thing. Like I had like I was in a motorbike accident. Like I was riding my bike and a car just like pulled out and just smashed into the side of me, like smashed up my shoulder. Like I couldn't move my arm for like months. And I was going to the gym every day. I was still working in the gym. I was like super depressed because I was like, I just want to train. And I was in so much pain all the time, because my shoulder was just like on fire. And yeah, and but I was still going to the gym just to like try to keep the routine and then just doing like my physio work. And like it's okay, it's not going to be 100%, but when a car drive, like it was like a 4x4 as well, like a big
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
And it's like when that drives into you, you're not you can't really recover fully from that. It's like, but it's like so depressing. You're like, I just want to train, like just let me train.
Yeah, and it's not the same, right? Like there's a difference between rolling and doing some jumping jacks. It's not the same. So
Yes, I 100% agree. And
yeah,
that's it's now it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna do some strength and conditioning again. Oh, and I'll just do some more strength and conditioning. I guess I'll do some strength and conditioning today. And it's like, yeah, I'm really bored of it. I just want to punch people in the face and choke them out. This is like killing me, but it's all good. We'll appreciate it so much more afterwards.
yeah. Do
Like,
you
remember
I
that
mean,
one time we had to be inside all the time and we didn't get to roll? Well, now you're never going to miss training again. So that's my hope.
yeah. You last competed back in November, right?
Mhm.
For Brave.
Right.
What was
Yeah.
the decision to compete all the way in Bahrain?
Well, okay. So basically, backtracking a little bit, I'd been wanting to fight for so long, and I've
Yeah, 'cause
been
you had
like,
2 year layoff there, right? From
yeah,
2017.
and I'd been asking for a fight for so long, and then I ended up leaving that gym for like a multitude of reasons. But it's not like the worst thing in the world, but just it just was time, basically.
Yeah.
So I left that gym and I moved to CrossFit where I am now. And I was like, I went there and I was like, I want to fight. Like, I don't care how you go about it. I just want to fight. So my coach, Dave, he's a phenomenal coach, like absolutely amazing, like such a cool guy, just like really cares about his fighters, like he's not like he's not one of those people that would be like, oh, you can only fight if it's a guaranteed win. He's not like that. He'll take tough fights at people. He doesn't care. He's just like, train as hard as you can and you'll have a chance to win.
Yeah.
And it's like, fair enough,
Yeah,
you
and it
know.
was a tough fight. I think the girl was what, 9-1 or something like that. Like she had a
I
really solid record.
think she
Six
was
and
6-1.
six and
I
one. Yeah,
think, yeah.
yeah.
And she's good.
Luana Pinheiro. Yeah,
She's really good. And like it was like a super tough fight for me for like the first one after 2 years. And like I had like so I tore both the collateral ligaments in my knee in the April, so in my left knee. So I had both sides. I mean, then they're not fixed yet. I'm still waiting on the operation. The operation was actually supposed to happen 2 weeks ago, but obviously it got cancelled for corona. um So I still had this tourney, and I was like, you know what? I want to fight so bad. I need to like scratch this itch, so to speak. So I was like, he's like, hey, and I agree to every fight. Like I'm fucking terrible. Like I literally agree to like. That's why I have to have a manager, because when it's left up to me, I just agree to everything, and it's like, why are you agreeing to that fight? There was a 20 kilogram weight difference, and I'm like, I want to fight. And they're just like, what is wrong with you? So that's why I have to have a manager, because I am not responsible enough to do it by myself. I'm
So
just not.
theoretically, if you got a call to fight Jessica Andrade, UFC
Well, we're the
249.
same weight category. We're the same weight category. We're both
One,
115, right?
yep.
Yeah, I would do it.
That's 2 weeks notice. UFC
Yeah,
249 against someone who just won the title. That's yeah.
yeah. But
It's
I
a
would do
very
it because like there's nothing to lose. Like everyone
yeah
would assume that I would get knocked out in like the first 30 seconds. So if I last more than 30 seconds, I fucking smashed it. You know
yeah
what I mean?
yeah.
And it's just like, okay, cool. Like my jiu-jitsu is not bad. Like hers is obviously better. Her striking is obviously better than mine, like by about a million thousand percent, which is cool. But you know what? I would still do it, even though it was like a pretty much a guaranteed loss, because when are you ever going to get that opportunity, like ever again? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can go out there and shock the world, right? So,
I mean, probably not, but I wouldn't even care about that. I would just be like, I just want to fight. Like, just let me fight. And like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I just love that. The preparation and, the buzz from it. And yeah, I just love it.
is
So,
there do you have a timetable for your return? Obviously, that fight likely won't happen against Jessica Andrade, but
yeah. Uh,
but is there a
so,
timeline? Are you looking to get back before the end of the year?
yeah. Like the idea, the original plan was to have the operation like 2 weeks ago. When
Yeah,
actually, originally it was supposed to be 6 weeks ago. Then they cancelled it and they moved it forward 4 weeks, and then it was cancelled again because of Corona. So it's actually been cancelled twice already, which is really annoying. So as soon as I can get the operation, and as soon as I can recover from the operation, because the thing is like with collateral ligaments, there's not really that much they can do. It's more like working out if there's anything that they can't see on the MRI kind of thing. So it's more like exploratory rather than, but like there's clearly something wrong with it, because it doesn't matter how much physio I do, it's not fixing, like it's not getting much better. Like it's
yeah,
got better, but not, it's like it gets to a point and then it just stops. It doesn't get any better than that. So it's like I'm sitting at 60%, like at maximum, so it's not ideal. Especially if someone's like about to do like a fucking knee bar on me, and it's just, it's not going to end well, is it? Um,
definitely not.
so yeah. So, and like for example, I don't feel like I can spar properly, because if someone takes me down in sparring and I resist, it hurts so much. Like it's not too bad when I take them down. It's when they take me down and I resist, and it's like the pain. It literally feels like my knee has been shot, and it's like, yeah, that's not an ideal feeling for every training session. So it's like I'm drilling, I'm rolling jiu-jitsu, I'm drilling, I'm rolling jiu-jitsu, I'm really, that's all I've done since like the fight, pretty much. It's just too painful. So
Yeah, I know like Tony Ferguson did it on like he recovered from those in like 6 months, but like I'm a diehard soccer fan, football fan, I guess there. But but those often career ending
oh yeah,
injuries for soccer players, and it's very similar for MMA fighters. So hoping that surgery goes well.
yeah, me too, big time.
Are you a big footy fan? No.
I said this to my friend before, actually. I used to play football when I was like a teenager. Like I was in a team, and for Guildford Saints. Oh yeah. Um, and once I started MMA, I realized that football's shit, and like you is like, especially like I don't mind like playing football is fine,
Yeah.
but watching it, like watching people rolling around on the ground, clutching their leg, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like I get hit harder than that in drilling.
Yeah, the one thing I like about MMA is like I'm a huge fan of watching it. I don't miss a fight. If there's a fight on, I'm all over it.
Yeah,
I cancel plans with everybody to watch fights. Um,
as you
it's
should.
yeah, and it's what I like about it is it's all up to that one individual, right? You don't have 10 other players to back you up, right? If
Yeah.
you throw a
Like you got
punch,
all let you down. That's it, you know?
exactly, right? If you overthrow a punch, you could get knocked out just like that. And there's no 10 players to block that punch for you. It's just you. And that being said, on the other side, if you win, obviously your team had something to do with it, but it's all on you. The glory is all yours.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. Definitely.
Let's talk a little bit about your time on The Ultimate Fighter. Probably one of my favorite seasons because of the coaches.
Everyone.
What was what was the bad blood like? I guess from someone who was in the house versus someone who was watching it from my house on TV.
So firstly, I'll say I love Joanna so much. Like I have so much love for her. Like
Yeah,
she was so good to me. And like we still talk. Like we literally messaged like 3 days ago. You know, like I love that girl. I absolutely love her. And you know, she talks shit, but
yeah.
she's amazing. Okay, like as a person, like personally, I think she's amazing. Uh,
As a fighter, she's incredible too.
Oh yeah, of course she
Yeah,
is. Of course she
yeah,
is. But like I just mean like on a personal level, like she helped me so much in the house. She would like spend so much time with me and like developing my game and like helping me with my striking because my striking's never going to be as good as my jiu-jitsu because I don't love it as much, you know? Like I love jiu-jitsu. Like I will literally do if I could do jiu-jitsu for 12 hours a day, I would. No problem. I would just no problem, you know?
yeah.
Unfortunately, you know, work and stuff gets in the way, but whatever. And you know, but my striking isn't it's I love it, like I enjoy it, but I'm not as passionate about it like I am with jiu-jitsu. So she was helping me like try to develop my striking a little bit, you know, and like she put a lot of time into me, a lot of time and a lot of effort. So for me, I think she's amazing. uh Her beef with Claudia, I don't everyone's like, oh, was it real, was it real? I'm like, yeah, it definitely was. Like
Yeah.
it was 100% real. Like there's no like that was definitely real. There was so many times when it was just like, oh my god, I just can't even like because I'm really bad with like conflict. Like I hate conflict. I'm like the worst fighter ever. And it's just like you're a fighter, you hate conflict. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. So it's like for me, every time I was like preparing for them to be in the same like room or the same area, I was like, oh God, no, please don't fight. I can't do it. Like I hate like any conflict like that, even if it's not with me, you know, it's just like any conflict. I'm like, oh my God, I can't deal with it, I can't deal with it, you know. So I was like dreading them being in the same room. But there was like a couple of times when, you know, like they would start screaming at each other and like, oh my God, okay, I'm just gonna leave the room now because I can't deal with this. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. So
What's life like in the house?
oh, I loved it. Like I literally loved it. So at the time I was working, I think I can't remember what I was doing, but like I was working really long hours and I was like exhausted all the time. I can't remember what I was doing before. I don't know, like I was probably doing like 3 jobs. Like I think that's most of my life, to be honest. As an adult, has been my
Yeah.
life. It's been like at least 3 jobs. And so apart from now, obviously. But yeah, so I was working a lot and I was like, oh, if I get in the house, that means that I can have like basically 2 months off work. It's like, how
It's a
fucking cool is
vacation.
that?
Right?
Like, literally. And, like all I had to do was train. And then like I ended up getting concussion and I couldn't even train for half of it. And I was so desperate to train because like, you know, that's what I do. And like I've had concussion before and I've trained through it and that's probably not the most sensible thing in the world, but like because it's on like the hat is in the house, they have like the doctors. I'm like they're like telling me, oh, you can't train. I'm like, what, what do you mean I can't train? Like this is what I do. And they're like, no, you're not allowed to train. I'm like, oh my God. So then I got super like upset because I was like, well, I'm here to train, I can't train. So then I just made everyone like cookies and cakes and stuff because like I love cooking, I love baking. It's like
Yeah,
properly love it.
I saw that on your Twitter bio. It was like Ultimate Fighter, competitor, baker.
Yeah, that's literally it. That's literally it. I love baking. And do you know what I love about it is not that like obviously I love the baking part, but I love making things for people and like seeing them being like so happy that I made them something. And then that makes me happy and then like, it just makes me love baking more.
See, I'm
So I
like the opposite. When I bake something and I give it to someone, I'm upset because they got the thing I worked on. They got to
Oh,
enjoy the meal I made. So it makes me upset.
that's like the opposite of me. Yeah, like I love cooking for people. I love making them food. Like I make stuff on my like every time someone fights in my gym, they get a cake. Like whatever their favorite is, you know. Every time it's someone's birthday, they get something. Like I'm just like any excuse to bake and I'll bake. Like I love it. So yeah, I was just baking cookies like every day. I was like taking them to the gym for the camera crew. And then like I was baking like every day, but like I, just once a day. And then I got some like friendship band stuff and I was like making everyone a friendship band and I made one for everyone in the house. And then I started making them for all the producers, all the camera crews, so like every single person had their band. And actually I spoke to someone who worked on the show like within the last month. I can't remember when it was, and he still has his band and it made me so happy. I was like, that's so cool. So it was like 2016, like 4 years ago.
Yep.
It still
Yeah, it
has
was
it.
yeah, it was February. Yeah, January and February of
Yeah,
2016. Yeah, so it would have been 4 years ago.
so crazy. I was like, I can't believe you still have it. I'm so happy. So that was
Have
really cool.
Did you ever think of moving to the States after The Ultimate Fighter?
I wanted to actually, I just couldn't afford it.
Was there
So
any was there any gyms that stood out? Like I thought, like Team Alpha Male, they had people like Uriah Faber, known for his guillotine, which I thought would be a good match, and smaller people.
yeah,
Uh,
okay.
so I thought like Paige Van Zant was there for a bit. And I believe that what's her name? A girl from Wales just recently moved there too.
uh, Scotland, Joanna.
Yeah,
Oh wait, no, sorry.
no, Wales, isn't it? I thought it was Wales. I thought,
Uh, no, I'm not thinking of the same person. I can't think. No,
oh, okay,
I know who you mean, and now I can't remember her name. I know exactly who you mean.
yeah.
Sorry,
I
brain.
think she fights for Bellator or
Yeah.
Invicta or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So have you ever like? So obviously money was an issue. Was there a gym that you would have been like, yeah, that's the one that I think fits best for me, or even ATT where Joanna's at?
I just really wanted to train with Greg Jackson for like my entire MMA career. That's been my goal to train with him, and that's what I want to do. And I still want to do it. Like it's still my goal to train. Like I met him once. I met him at like a Bellator event, and I was just like, I want to come and train with you. And he's like, cool, do it. And that was the end of the conversation. I was like, I don't think he knew who I was. Like, I mean, I wouldn't expect him to. Like, some fucking like woman that's lost on Bellator. And, do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, who the fuck is this girl? Like, but because I was in like the VIP area because my friend was working there, so I was like, let me in. I need to see Greg Jackson. I need to tell him that I need to train with him. And he was like, are you drunk? I'm like, no, I don't drink. Just let me in. He's like,
Well, even like
okay.
I had Juan Adams, a heavyweight. He trains out of Jackson Wink. I had him on Monday. I was talking to him, and he was at the gym. And the second he said that, I started freaking out a bit. I was like, "Is John Jones there? Is Holly Holm? Is Greg Jackson there?" Like, I didn't say it, but I didn't want to like ruin his moment either. But
So
meeting them would be incredible.
yeah, like insane. So actually, this is crazy. So I work on a podcast as well called Rear Naked Radio, and Greg Jackson is actually going to be a guest next week.
Oh,
So he's it's coming out on Monday. So
oh,
if you do want to like listen, like I know it's bad to shout out another podcast, but it's like
oh
I
no! This is
I
like
work.
yeah, no, shout out your podcast, shout out everything. This
But yeah,
is not
seriously, like Rear Naked Radio on Monday is going to be Greg Jackson, and it's going to be phenomenal.
Reader
Yes,
Naked Radio. I will actually include the link in the
yeah,
YouTube link as
I
well, so
appreciate that.
you'll have that there.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So yeah,
all
I
my
just
my
like,
30 viewers.
I mean, hey, there might even be like 40 by like next week,
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Let's like, just keep dream big, dream big.
How's so what are your predictions, I guess, for UFC 249? I told you I was going to ask not many questions
Yeah.
about fighters in particular, but I did this is one that I've been asking everybody just because I'm curious to see how people think this is going to go.
Well, okay, so I the thing is like I really think that Tony's gonna win, obviously. But like, well, no, not obviously, not obvious at all, actually.
I
I
have
don't think
Gaethje winning it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is like I I would like him to, but I think Tony's gonna win just because I think his heart is there more. You know, like he has not it's not like in it more, but I just feel like I can't explain it. I see something like in his mind or something. I don't know what it is, or like in his heart that's like he's just fucking winning. Like, you know? I don't know, it doesn't make any sense, but
Yeah,
it makes sense for the fighters.
yeah.
Try,
Well,
try.
yeah, when you listen to their like mentality, like I've heard both of their interviews, and Gaethje almost seems like it's I'm gonna go out there and try. Like he doesn't
Yeah,
expect to win, but
yeah.
I think that actually might be the reason he does win because he's just gonna go tuck his
He
chin
doesn't
in
he's
and
gonna
start.
lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Maybe.
it's probably the
I
most
mean,
exciting fight they've done
it's
in a
it's
while.
it's like really, yeah, it's really exciting. And also because like of everything that's going on in the world at the moment, it's like even more exciting, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like
Are you?
I don't
So, are
know.
you? Did you sign a one fight deal with Brave, or you have several fights?
So it's kind of weird actually. So I signed a one fight, just a one fight, but that like they said to me at the time they wanted me back, like 100%. They're like, we want you back. So I was like, all right, cool. And then obviously all this stuff happens. So you know, who knows when the next Brave will be on. But they did contact me to do a video for them as one of their fighters. So I'm not actually signed officially, but it's like a unspoken sign, I guess. I don't really know what the word is for that. But like basically they kind of class me as one of their fighters, but I'm not officially signed as like a multi-fight deal or anything.
Okay. Yeah, because I was just wondering what their, I guess, stance is. Obviously, they canceled all their events.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, but
I
I
think
just want I
like
wanted to kind of compare UFC to other organizations to see what their stances are, I guess. I think
yeah,
UFC is the only organization that's really taken this stance.
they're the only ones that have enough money to do it. So, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, when I saw that Dana was buying an island or an island, I was like, this is literally some fantasy shit that, like, you know, you dream of when you're a kid. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna live on an island and I'm gonna have a cage and we're gonna have fights. Yeah, when you're 7, that sounds like the best idea. When you're an adult, you realize that that shit costs a lot of money. And then when you're Dana White, you realize that you have the money to actually be able to do that shit. And it's like, holy shit, that's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I, I don't think it's as like, I mean, I don't know any details or anything like that, but I feel like it's probably just someone was like, yeah, you can come use this island. I don't think
yeah,
we've physically purchased an island,
no,
but either
even
way, like,
even so, whatever the situation is, I secured an island. What the fuck? Fight island? Are you serious? And even if he didn't pay for it, the island, for example, how
yeah,
is he going to get all these people over to the island? He has to pay to get all these people over. It's not just the fighters, it's the cornermen, it's the camera
right.
crew, it's the production crew. Do you know what I mean? He's got to pay all these people on a fucking island in the middle of nowhere. So even if he's not paying for the island itself, that could be gifted to him
and
easily.
and the pilots, and you can't
And
have
yeah,
more than 10 people on a flight or whatever it is. So it's not like they're putting them on
and
American
it will be
Airlines.
like there will be like individual, like they wouldn't, because they can't keep anyone together because it's illegal for like the whole world, so they would have to have like individual dressing room. It's like for every single person almost, like not even for the camp, it's like for the person, you know. It's just
Yeah,
crazy, like
yeah. I mean, it's
so, like I would be super impressed. I mean, I think he will pull it off. I just hope that no one gets injured in the process, you know, like if somebody gets the virus in the process of traveling or something, you know, that's going to be really bad. And also because
lawsuit.
everyone's together, it's then going to get everyone, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like, is that
And I think
worth the risk? No.
yeah, and I think like if the issue too is like if a cornerman or like a cameraman gets it, it's lawsuits, right? And that's the
For
I mean,
sure.
UFC's got money to blow, I guess, but you don't want lawsuits,
Yeah,
and
but
it
no,
doesn't
it's
look good on the sport.
no, exactly. And it's like your reputation takes years and years to build and seconds to break, you know? So it's
Yeah,
I would say it's not worth it, but I mean, I would saying that I would do it. I would be a fighter on there. Like if he asked me, I would do it 100%.
I'd go to the fight. I'd watch in the front row
Yeah.
by myself. I'm
But
okay with
like
that.
I don't like I would do it, but I would not I still don't think it's a good idea, but I would do it because fuck it, why not?
I think that's the mentality a lot of fighters have. There's not many that are vocal on the other side saying, "No, I'm not going to do it." I think most are like, "Yeah, let's
Hardly,
do it."
hardly. The only people that would categorically say no is people that are either injured, sick, or they've just had someone die. Like Rose Namajunas,
Yeah,
her just 2 deaths in the family just reported today.
yeah,
Of course she can't fight now, like of course
yeah.
that's completely like I totally get that, and that to me that's like totally fair enough. Like I wouldn't if someone in my family just died, I wouldn't want to fight either. But luckily, my family seems pretty healthy right now, so
That's good.
give me
That's
the
good. Uh, all right, so let's talk about some non-MMA material here. You do some online coaching too, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And what is that? Is it jiu-jitsu? Is it, I think it's self-defense type things, correct?
So basically, I really wanted to do self-defense for women originally, and because that's like how I got into MMA in the first place. And it's been like I'm super passionate about it. And like I was teaching like workshops, seminars, and stuff for like people that had never done any MMA and never done any self-defense, never done anything. So I was teaching these, but it was like so hard to get people through the door. I was like, I'm giving you a free seminar. Like I wasn't even charging, and it was still like I would literally have to give them like a hard sell just to get them into the room. And I'm like, this should not be so hard. So then I like changed the angle of it. So like when people got there, they loved it. They loved the teaching, they loved the seminar or the workshop, whatever. They were so into it. They wanted to come back, like, but it just took them so much to actually come in the first place, because like self-defense is like it has a kind of a bad name, like, oh God, it's gonna be so boring. It's just gonna be like standing silently in a room listening to someone like talk about bullshit. Like, it's like no one
Yeah,
wants
it's
to do
not Wing Chun or whatever that
that.
martial. Yeah,
Exactly. So when I teach, it's like basically I say to them, look, guys, this is this is like MMA, but the stuff that you would use in an actual situation. So I'm not gonna teach you how to, like, for example, escape an armbar, because the chances of you getting armbarred in the street are fairly limited. But the chances of somebody grabbing you in the street are high. Or if they grab your arm, they grab your body, they pull your hair, something like that. That's the sort of thing that might actually happen to you. Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the mentality of it. Let's talk about when you go out, do you take a pair of pumps with you as well as your heels so you can run? Like if you're trying to run in heels, you're probably going to break your ankle, and then you're not even going to be able to walk. But if you're running in pumps, you have a bit of a chance to get away if somebody's chasing you. So like, logical things like that nobody thinks about. Well, I say nobody, rarely people think about.
yeah,
So I go through like all aspects, and I say to them, look, guys, I'm teaching you one thing, or I'm teaching you like I go through three scenarios basically in most seminars, 3 scenarios. So like, look, I'm teaching you these things, but this, just because you've been taught this once, does not mean that you know it. It doesn't mean you're safe. If you don't practice it, you don't know it. It's
mm,
about reaction. Yeah, you might know like, okay, I don't want to push my opponent to the distance of his fist, or like, like a punching range. I don't want to push him to that. Like if you push someone a little bit and they go to punching range, they can smash you even harder. If you go into them, so like, like a body lock or something, then it's going to be harder for them to damage you because they can't have any power, right? So things like something you wouldn't think about, like if you didn't do MMA, you didn't do like any martial arts, something, if you your immediate reaction is going to be get them away, but then they've got the power and the space to be able to use it. So you go in close to them, A, they don't expect it, and B, they don't have any power, so you take away their power. So just something like that could stop someone from getting punched, for example. But I'm really adamant that, look, guys, you're not going to learn something by doing it once. Like, that's a complete bullshit. If you think that that is the case, then you're fooling yourself.
yeah.
If you
And the
don't
people,
practice it, you don't know
yeah,
it.
and every person, like for example, it may be a smaller person, it may be a bigger person, the size of the person, and whatever they've done, right? Whether they're a football player or just a regular, the way you react is going to be different. So
Exactly.
just because you can react to one person doesn't mean you're going to be able to do it for the next.
So I was doing like loads of workshops, and then I kind of was struggling to get people into one place at one time, because like everyone's working, everyone's like doing something different. So I was like, right. And they, but I really want to learn from you, but I can't get to that place. I'm like, right. you know what? I need to work out how I can teach something online. And I was like, right, okay. If you think about it logically, before you turn up to an MMA class, if I'd known how to, for example, throw a jab, throw a cross, like jab, cross, hook, uppercut, if I'd known how to sprawl, if I'd known how to break fall, if I'd known how to shoot, all of that kind of stuff would have been really helpful to know before I turned up to class, because I learnt it with people basically laughing at me because I was doing it really bad. So I developed this online program, which is basically all the warm-up drills that we do in a really simple format. So it's MMA online, but it's not MMA online. It's like it's fitness, and it's not like boring squats and star jumps and all that bullshit. It's like shadow boxing and sprawling and break falling and putting it all together. And so you're getting your fitness up that way. And all the programs, all the workouts are 3 5-minute rounds, like a MMA fight. So it's like it's going on the MMA theme, but I'm not like I'm teaching you MMA. No, I'm teaching you the movements from MMA that you could use to get fit, or you could use, for example, if somebody tries to attack you at the hip. I don't know why they would do that, but maybe someone tried to, and you sprawl. Great reaction. Good work. Where did you learn that? Oh, that was me. Cool. You know what I mean? So, and but the other part of it, which is the bit I love both parts actually, but I do a lot of mindset work. So it's like MMA and mindset. And the mindset work is like I love meditation, appreciation. Like I have like a whole appreciation journal. I actually have a book out. A book came out this week called 5 Daily Habits. You can find it on Amazon if you want it. And it's basically like just a little bit of self publication. Speak now. Yeah, it's on Amazon. Anyway, it's called 5 Daily Habits, and it basically goes. It's like like an organized journal. So like not a journal where you just write. It's like every day has its own page, and it's very like what do you like, how many calories did you eat today? I encourage you to track your calories using MyFitnessPal. Like how was your mindset today? What did you do to train? Did you do like a workout? Did you do like some yoga? Was it like more of a rest day? Maybe you went for a swim, maybe you went for a run. Like what did you do? How did you feel about it? Like all this kind of stuff. Like, have you written in a journal today? Did you meditate today? How did you feel before you meditated? How long did you meditate for? How did you feel after you meditated? All this stuff, and I explain like why you need it as well and everything. So yeah, that's like kind of to go with the course, but you can also just do it on your own as well. So yeah, so that's kind of the course. It's only 8 weeks, so it's intense, but it is though.
It's actually even like the timing of, like, for example, right now is the time to even try that, right? You're in quarantine, nothing else to do, may as well give it a go.
Yeah,
So I'll also include the link in the description
that would be
for my 30 or 40 viewers or however many I
aim
get.
high, aim high.
How's so you also do a little bit of rock climbing. I tried it.
Do.
I suck at it. Um, you're self-proclaimed avid rock climber, I think is what it says. What got you into that, and how do you find that those sorts of activities correlate to MMA?
Good question. Okay, so I got into climbing with my ex-boyfriend, who is, by the way, a really nice guy. It was just time, like nothing happened. It's just cool time on the relationship. But he was really into climbing, and he got me into climbing, and I was like, so it started off with him being like, "Hey, do you want to go climbing?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, it's not jujitsu, so probably not." And he doesn't do jujitsu, so he didn't understand my stance on that. And then I was like, I went with him, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so much fun!" And I wasn't good or anything, but like, I wasn't shit, so I was like, "Oh, sweet." And then the next day I was like in so much pain, like my muscles were absolutely killing. I was like, "Fuck yeah, that's awesome!" Like, I didn't think I could get this kind of workout that wasn't like MMA,
Yeah,
because it's like it's not. It's like so much slower. It's so much more controlled, but it's still so much fun.
yeah.
And
My
then,
girlfriend does it, and I can't. Like, she crushes me every time we go. It's not for me. I don't know why. The keeping your arms straight thing doesn't seem to work for me. I like to be in
but
close.
that
Um,
takes. I took me a long time as well to get
Yeah.
used. Like he kept saying to me, like, why are you trying to hold on with the? I was like this, like holding on. He's like, why are you trying to hold on near your face? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's gonna punch me. I don't
Gotta have that
know.
guard up. Yeah.
Yeah. But then like as I got used to it, I was like, oh, actually, it's not gonna punch me. I mean, like I have hit my head on holds before, and it fucking hurts because it's like really painful, hard. Like I don't know what the material is, but the holds, but like plastic or something, it really hurts. So I don't recommend that. But I started going on my own after he introduced me to it, and then I met loads of people there, and I have loads of like friends there, like my climbing friends. I have my gym friends and my climbing friends. So now, like even though we aren't together anymore, I still go. So well, obviously not right now, but like when we get out of isolation, I will still go. So yeah, but yeah, and to the second part of your question, how it relates to jujitsu. Well, for me, I relate it to jujitsu because it's like really controlling the body. So, like in jujitsu, you obviously want to be able to control your body. You want to be able to control your body when someone else is trying to control it.
Yeah.
Whereas in climbing, you want to be able to control your body to reach the next hold or the next step to get yourself to the next step. So it's like it's it's kind of the same, but obviously no one's trying to choke you out. So it's kind of fun. Like
Yeah.
I mean, jiu-jitsu's fun too, but like it's like fun in a different way, I would say.
Yeah, it's like you're using your body weight and momentum rather than trying to force something to happen that isn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
All right.
So yeah, I think it complements jiu-jitsu really, really well. Definitely recommend it.
Okay, so to anyone here that does jujitsu, all 40 of you, do some rock climbing too.
Just, for fun. Why not?
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you jumping on. We kind of talked about everything, which is kind of what I like about this podcast is there's no real structure to it. It's just whatever comes up. So thank you for coming on, and I'll be
Well,
sure to include all that stuff in the link in my
okay.
bio. So all the best, and hopefully you
Thank
you get back in there sooner rather than later, and maybe you get a call for UFC 249.
In my dreams.
All right. All
Thanks
the
so much for
best.
having me.
Yeah, no
Thank you.
problem. All the best. Wash your hands. Stay safe.
You too. Bye.
Bye.